Joanna Perry, Tom Hitchcock. Happy, what day is it? Wednesday? Thursday? Thursday. Happy Thursday.
Gosh, I was going to say Tuesday.
There we are. So we both had a challenging week by the sounds of it. We don't know what day of the week it is.
It's been very slow, but also very fast at the same time. But we're here, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, that is the main thing. So yes, I've been looking forward to this episode. I've been super keen on hearing your story and whatever it is you're going to share with us.
Yeah.
Okay. So without further ado, Joanna, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've come from a background of accounting, and I'm currently on a mission to change the way people perceive the accounting industry. And I'm doing that through social media and just basically social media. I've also launched a company called Firm Ready, which is us basically trying to upskill young people in the profession and trying to streamline the recruitment process to firms. But yeah, overall, we want to change the way people see accounting. So so basically the perception of the industry is pretty poor, as you probably know, right? So if I was to put the question to you, how would you perceive the average accountant?
So I can imagine my idea of hell would be in a conference of accountants trying to make jokes in a keynote.
Yeah, right. Okay. I completely agree with that. And some people would say pale, pale and stale as well. So so that's what we're trying to change a little bit. I think the industry has evolved so much and no one actually understands what an accountant does anymore. So that's the work that I've been doing the past 6 months, really. So trying to educate people on what an accountant does nowadays, because AI has come into play, the role has evolved so much, and there's not a lot of number crunching that goes on behind closed doors. We're very much advisors now. So, and you're a recruiter. Do you recruit for accounting and finance, or?
Yes, I do. We certainly do.
Hey, there you go. There you can join in on this conversation. So, So we're trying to get more people into the industry because there is an alarming talent shortage. And as you probably know, the pool of candidates, it's really hard to collect quality people and refer them to your clients. So we've done this through, we've launched a campaign called Make Accounting Great Again, which is blown off on social media, which I don't know if you've seen it. But it's now reached over 5 million people, which is unreal to think.
That's fantastic. Kudos. Well done.
Thank you. So we've also interacted with over 20,000 people now. And slowly but surely, we're seeing a lot more people coming in, asking more questions about the industry, just becoming more interested. And it's very slow, but you know, there is some effect there, and I think we're really going in the right direction. So yeah, basically, so what does an accountant do now? So I think since AI has come into play, there's a lot of jobs will be taking over in terms of bookkeeping and a lot of the graduate level roles. So now there are a lot of graduates in the market that can't really get jobs because firms aren't looking to hire graduates, and you know, they're sort of switching to AI or outsourcing. And so there are people in the market that are trying to get jobs. So can we pause this for a second? Can we?
It's going to continue. It's going to continue.
Oh.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. And yeah, so the skill set for the industry is completely changed, right? So you would have to come to the industry originally with a really high number of, really high value skill set in technical skills, right? But now it's completely evolved where you need more social skills. You need to be able to communicate with clients. You need to be able to build that rapport. You need to be able to sort of navigate the corporate environment a little bit better. And technical skills are no longer prioritized. It's more soft skills. So I think I'm seeing in the market a lack of people that are looking to step into the industry with those soft skills, because universities and schools aren't really teaching them. So have you seen that in your process?
Absolutely. We talk about this regularly.
Yeah.
We've seen the evolution of accounting where they need to almost become business advisors and business partners, and there's a consultancy feel about them rather than the old-fashioned view of the number crunching. So I couldn't agree with you more there. And in turn, that means they need to have these soft skills, the transferable skills, so they can use their initiative, they can articulate, they can bring something else to the table. from the old stereotypical accountants and subsidiary roles, if you like. So we're noticing this, and we talk about it quite often.
Yeah. So we have that skill shortage, but we also have not enough people wanting to enter into the industry, right? I use this, I say we're not really portrayed properly in media, right? So if you think about lawyers, they've got suits, right? They've got that sexy sort of role that they look up to. People want to become accountants because they watch Suits. I mean, I've fallen into that trap quite a few times, right? I've been an accountant for ages, but I'm like, suddenly I want to switch careers because I see Meghan Markle and she looks great. So, so we don't really have, we're portrayed really poorly in the media. So even when we're seen in movies, we're sitting in a little brown box, we're filing through receipts, we're, hunched over, we're quite rude, and, it's just completely outdated. And we need some people within the industry try to change our perception for people outside of the industry.
Can I ask them? So I want to tap a little bit into, we'll get back to the sexy accountants. Okay. I get to Joanna. I want to know a little bit more about Joanna before you entered accounting. Okay. For starters. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So before I entered into accounting, are you saying like after when I started my career?
So who is Joanna? I want to know a little bit about what makes you tick outside of your current agenda.
So what makes me tick? I graduated high school and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I went into a business degree like everyone does, and majored in accounting and law like everyone else does as well. And just sort of saw myself gravitating towards the accounting subjects. And, I just wanted to do anything I was good at. So that's what I was doing at the time. Got a job. I was actually in recruitment for a little bit first. I was recruiting for the accounting and finance industry when I was really fresh out of school. And that was a great experience because it really taught me communication skills and, understanding people and really screening who a person is. So that those skills are very valuable to me today. And yes, I did recruitment for a little bit, but then after that, I wanted to really get into the industry that I knew I was going to sort of be in for a while. So I got a job as an assistant accountant to a sole trader. And that was very interesting because it really, I was fascinated by the fact that you could see how a business was performing, right, without actually being in the business. So I really liked that. So I started working for a sole trader, lodging his tax returns, sort of helping him just file everything and generating financial statements. And then from there, I transitioned into a mid-tier firm because I just wanted more exposure. And there I just got a huge amount of exposure to a lot more high net worth individuals and family groups. Spent 2 years there. Was extremely passionate at that point about training graduates, because I felt like when I moved into a larger firm, there wasn't enough support in the training side of things. I feel like I had so many questions that I felt like they should have taught us at university. Just like things like how to navigate Xero, how to navigate MYOB, how should I be able to speak to a client? Because the accounting industry is all about building relationships. And there were just some core elements that I just feel like I should have known before going in. And obviously, I at that point, I really wanted to build relationships with clients, but I didn't understand the client well enough to know how to speak to them and know what makes them tick and all those things. So I was, we basically helped upskill the graduates in that role and sort of got them on a training course, which was very interactive, very real life, like financial statement simulations. And you sort of had to read the financial statements and understand the business from the financial statements. So it was, a very interesting learning curve. And I think the firm is still using that sort of training now, which is great. But that's where my passion for education started. By the way, on the side, while I'm doing all this, I've also got a little tutoring business as well, because I did well in my HSC. And the natural progression is, okay, I'm going to, tutor people and tell them what I did. So I did that for a while as well. So I worked full time, I studied, and then I was also tutoring people. And I just loved, having a student from like year 7 to year 12, for example, and just really seeing their growth and progression. And especially that light bulb moment when they understand something after I've explained it in different ways to help them to help them understand, that is like super rewarding. So there's little elements from my job and my my tutoring. That's where I got this passion for education. I then transitioned to a larger firm, which is when I stopped tutoring because I just wanted to put all my eggs in one basket at that point. And still seeing the same issues. Not enough, the graduates that are coming in, they were just lacking so many fundamental skills that you really need to be able to progress in this industry. And again, no one's teaching them. So yeah, I always went into the accounting industry with the intention of transitioning out because I never wanted to work my way up to partner. I always wanted to be a business owner or entrepreneur. So I knew that accounting was the gateway to understanding the language of business and the fundamentals. So after my time at my last firm, which was earlier this year, I transitioned out and I started I'm dabbling in business here and there, but in this industry, I started Firm Ready, which is a community for junior accountants to be able to upskill them and refer them to industry partners. So it's really meant to make the main point is with the students because they're really struggling to get a job, right? So the idea is, okay, you can come into our program. We're going to help you teach you everything you need to know, all these gaps that I've seen over my years in accounting. And hopefully firms are going to appreciate that and will see you as more valuable over the other people that are applying for the job. So it's been good thus far. So that was only launched a few weeks ago. So we're still really, really, really fresh.
It's an exciting time. And I think what I was trying to pick at, because obviously I've got you here and now, okay? I can hear your tonality. I can see your body language and how that all triangulates into the message. I wanted to understand for myself and obviously the listeners a little bit more about who you were prior and what led you to where you are today. Because as you started talking the previous stuff, as it progressed, you could see there's a bit of a fire in your belly, okay? And you've called it passion. You've used a lot of keywords and you just validated it with your smile then, okay? And that fire in your belly is really important because that's where the magic happens. And it's just the fire in your belly, which tends to come out from entrepreneurs, okay? And once you've got a taste of that, there's no going back. You may end up having employment and going backwards and forwards as your professional career meanders, if you like. But that fire in your belly will never go out. Now you'll be like, oh, I'm going to retire now, and then the fire kicks off. Well, like, okay, no, I've got an idea. I'm going to do something else. Yeah.
I think that he's 70 now, and he retired when he was 40. But he still runs multiple businesses, and that's his retirement.
You got it. It doesn't fall apart from the tree and all that, eh? Yeah, exactly. But it also then pointed out, okay, that I wanted to try and refine into your why, okay? And I know that's a very talked about word these days and it's self-explanatory. I agree with what you're doing. I agree with changing perception of something. We're trying to do something with disabilities in the workforce and what have you. And I've got my why for that, and it gets my fire going, if you like. But you've got an interesting task of making accountants sexy again, which you've self-appointed. Okay, what is your why for that? Why bother?
I think originally, I don't feel like anyone actually knows what accountants do, right? And that was really annoying when I would go out and tell people I was an accountant, because they would look at me just with a blank face and they wouldn't want to ask any questions. And I'm like, hey, ask me more questions. Like it's exciting, I swear. So I think that's where it stemmed from as well. And I could see just in every day-to-day life, people didn't really know what I did. They just thought I was filing through receipts and lodging tax returns and doing all the mundane but important things, to be able to become an advisor. So
you think maybe the seed of this was you don't like being misunderstood?
Potentially, yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But it's fine. Because it always starts somewhere and then it grows and there's other things going on. You're taking really good action. So I love all that. I do want to ask you about the transferable skills again. Okay. So you're talking there that Universities are not teaching this stuff, so these grads come into a workforce ill prepared for an evolving workplace. Yeah. Which I've witnessed the same thing. We work with interns as well, and we try to install this for them. But do you think, does it sit with the university or not? But do you think it may be a generational thing, because the way technology is now and our attention spans and our phone addictions and whatever it is, our personas on different mediums, social platforms, do you think that that's also restricted our skill acquisition on the transferables?
Yeah, look, I don't want to be a boomer, but I do want to say it probably has a big, definitely an impact on how we communicate, for sure. And people coming into the industry now, just any corporate environment really, don't really have the communication skills, just in general. You know, I've had a lot of conversations with graduates, and they're just, I don't know, I can't really, because I am still very young, I could have been the exact same when I was that age, but it's just very different, I feel, from when I was that age. So, I think people coming into the industry now as a graduate need to have a lot more self-motivation to be able to really progress in their career. And that requires, you know, reaching out to, you know, upskilling yourself, really, because universities, there's no structure, educational structure that is already just giving it to you naturally. So you really have to seek that information on your own.
Okay, so it's probably a little bit of dealing with maybe potentially a sense of entitlement as well, so people can take ownership of designing their future, and actually, you know what, this isn't going to be given to me. I need to go and literally be proactive. I need to learn public speaking. I need to learn some sales 101 or whatever, customer service even.
I mean, I wouldn't say entitlement. I would say that they just need to be privy to the fact that their communication is probably not where it should be and where it needs to be able to progress in their career. I think people don't know anything until you tell them, unless they're just super intuitive. But so I think if you just tell these people, hey, you know, your communication needs to be up to scratch to be able to progress in this career, then I feel like naturally people, if they want it more hard enough, they would naturally just go and seek this information. But they just need to be told, and that requires, you know, people, you know, making content to sort of just bring the awareness to light. That involves, you know, universities and schools telling these students what they're in for when they're going into a career in accounting. They just need to know, and not many people are. There's not many, voices out there to be able to educate them on that fact.
And this is where you're coming in with in part to try to help people transition, to upskill, to plug in and begin their journey of success.
Exactly right. Exactly. So I think we're working with universities that want to sort of trickle down the message, which is so great. And there's a lot more voices in the space now. I've had a lot of people reach out to me, you know, wanting to sort of get advice on what message that we should be portraying, which is really cool. And it's crazy that I'm the person that people are coming to, but it's really good. And I see a really slow movement happening, and there's a few other people that are super passionate about it that I've connected with. And that's what you really need at the end of the day. You just need a few strong voices to start a bit of a movement. So hopefully do that.
So what's the future hold for you then? So we've got it here and now, and let's say we change the world. Accountancy's sexy again. Everyone understands what they do, where they're going, and people have got better communication skills, at least in your immediate surroundings. What happens next?
What happens next for me? At this point, I'm really dedicated to building Firm Ready, and I really want to build this platform so it's a bit of a go-to for university students that either want to just upskill themselves or really want to progress into the accounting industry. I think, just continue educating and continue empowering and continue mentoring these younger people, because at the end of the day, if we don't get enough people into the industry, it's not only going to affect those people, it's going to affect, you know, small businesses. It's going to affect firms. It's going to affect the economy, you know, in the very in the future, because, you know, good accountants need to be supporting small businesses, and small businesses make up 32% of the GDP. So, you know, we need accountants, and that's the message that I'm going to continue pushing. Other than that, I'm having fun in sort of just dabbling in business outside of this movement. So I've just teed up with a few friends. We're just nothing to do with the accounting industry, just really, just dipping our toes in different avenues. So it's been quite fun.
Good. Well, watch this space is what we need to be saying here. That's good to hear. Okay. Anybody listening to you today that likes what you're saying, wants to be a sexy accountant, wants to know how to upskill themselves, or just any other related topic, I guess, how would you prefer them to make contact with you?
If you want to check out Firm Ready, it's at firmready.co. If you want to check me out, my website is joannaperry.com.au. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I would love to catch up for a coffee and just connect with you if you want any advice. But yeah, they're my main sources. So
perfect. We'll put the links for all those into the comments when we publish, and I'm sure we'll get an influx of people wanting to say hello.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Joanna. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Mr. Purple.
Thank you for watching this episode. I hope that you did enjoy it, had lots of takeaways from it. As before, please subscribe below so you can keep on top of any new releases we have. And also, if you would like to have your story told, just reach out with me and I'd love to give you that platform. My best email address is tom@purplepatchconsulting.com. Thank you.